Welcome to the Daily Videcasting.
Today, we're jumping into the feed. We've got 15 key posts from X that really tell a story.
A story about incredible speed, actually. We're talking high-velocity AI and space tech colliding, well, right into the slow, confusing world of government and digital identity.
That's it. Our mission today is to cut through the noise and look at the huge speed difference between private tech, which is just moving at light speed, and the public sector trying to keep up.
Let's get right into it. First up, high-velocity tech and space. Okay, let's start with robotics. Post 1 is from @Yuntatsai, who's a senior staff engineer at Tesla AI.
Yeah.
He says, join us to design the robotic brain that will help humanity scale across the universe.
You know, this is so much more than just a recruitment ad.
It feels like a mission statement.
It is. They're laser focused on their AI chip innovation. I mean, the next goal is the AI5 chip.
And that's supposed to be, 40 times faster.
40 times. And the
Yeah.
kicker is they're already shifting resources to the AI6 effort.
That pace is just, it's hard to wrap your head around. But is that phrase scale across the universe? Is that literal or just cool hiring language?
I think it's both. The short-term goal is very practical, safer autonomy, for Optimus robotics in places like medicine and manufacturing.
Okay.
But that huge technological leap, that's what enables the really long-term vision. We're talking off-world manufacturing. They're building the foundation for a whole new industrial revolution.
The theme is definitely speed. And speaking of speed, let's talk autonomy. Post 7 from @SawyerMerritt.
Yep.
Breaking. Tesla's FSD, supervised, has officially launched to some HW4 owners in South Korea, marking the 7th country to receive FSD.
This is a huge strategic play. South Korea is now the 7th country.
Right, after the U.S., Canada, China.
Right. Mexico, Australia, and New Zealand. And for anyone not totally up to speed, FSD is full self-driving on their latest hardware, HW4.
But why South Korea? It's an incredibly dense and complex place to drive.
That's exactly why. Launching in a city like Seoul is the ultimate stress test for their algorithms.
So they're actively seeking out the chaos.
They are. It's a strategy to just aggressively train the system on complex traffic, different rules, pedestrian behavior, all of it. It refines the model so much faster than just staying in one or two places.
Okay, from a city scale to a planetary one, let's go to space. Post 13 from @SpaceX.
A very simple one.
Just deployment of 28 at Starlink satellites confirmed.
And, it's not the 28 that's the big deal. It's the total volume.
What are we talking about here?
This was their 110th mission this year alone.
Wow.
That pace means they've put up 2,842 Starlink satellites just in 2025.
Wait, how does that compare to last year?
That's the crazy part. It's 880 more than all of 2024 combined. They're pushing the whole network toward like 800 active satellites.
Has to raise some serious questions.
Oh, for sure. For regulators, for astronomers,
Sure.
How does policy even keep up with that rate of orbital construction?
It's a huge reality check. And staying on that cosmic scale, we have Post 5 from @Elon Musk.
A little dose of physics.
He says, the sun is 99.8% of all mass in our solar system. Even if you somehow burn Jupiter and everything that is not the sun in a fusion reactor, the sun would still round up to 100% of all energy. The sun is all that matters long term.
The science is solid. The sun is 99.86% of the mass. That's not really up for debate.
So what's the subtext here? Why post this now?
I think it's a way of framing the whole conversation about energy. It's a reminder that, in the grand scheme of things, all our terrestrial debates, solar, wind, even fusion, are just footnotes.
Compared to the power of the star we orbit.
Exactly. It's a subtle push toward thinking about self-sustaining off-world energy capture if you're serious about, long-term survival and expansion.
Yeah, let's pivot from the dominance of the sun to the dissolution of a government department.
A bit of whiplash there.
Yeah, we're talking about the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE. Post 2 from @Leading Report.
The headline.
Breaking. The Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, no longer exists, per Reuters.
And this is just a fascinating story of political goals versus reality. We saw Post 15 from @Unusual Wales confirming the White House disbanded it.
8 months early.
8 months ahead of schedule. Their goal was this huge, aspirational $2 trillion in savings. The fact they folded early tells you they were nowhere close.
But this is where it gets really weird, because the official DOGE account on the very same day posted this update.
The contradiction is just stunning.
This is Post 4, Contracts update. Over the last 9 days, agencies terminated and descoped 78 wasteful contracts with the ceiling value of below $9 billion and savings of 335 mitters.
And they get specific.
Including a 616-day HHS IT services contract for a social media monitoring platform subscription.
So on the same day they're reportedly dead, they're posting proof of actual verifiable savings, $335 million back in the bank, getting rid of things like a social media monitoring tool for HHS.
So they were working. I mean, terminating 78 wasteful contracts sounds like success, even if it's not $2 trillion.
It absolutely suggests success on a micro level, but it was a political failure on the macro level.
Because they didn't hit that giant headline number.
Exactly. The $2 trillion target was everything.
Yeah.
When that became unreachable, the whole project lost its political cover, even though saving $335 million is real money that matters to taxpayers.
It's just a massive messaging failure.
A total disconnect between the team on the ground getting wins and the administration pulling the plug.
That sense of confusion of conflicting reports, it carries over perfectly to our next topic, digital identity.
Right.
Post 12 from @CultureCrave says, Twitter, X, has rolled out a new update that shows locations for all accounts. Many American political accounts were exposed as foreign users pushing controversies.
This is a big feature. The whole point was to fight deception by showing where an account is physically located.
And it had an immediate effect.
Instantly, you suddenly saw cases of, say, accounts based in India that were heavily involved in amplifying very specific American political fights.
And the irony was not lost on people. We have post 9 from @Sarganafakad, who just posted, "This is such a fun feature."
Yeah, and he was pointing to a specific example.
A user with a very British-sounding handle.
Right, a British handle making arguments about English identity, and then bam, the feature reveals the account is operating out of Hong Kong.
It's like pulling back the curtain on this authenticity theater that plays out online.
It really is.
But these tools, they're not perfect, and that created its own brand of chaos. Which brings us to post 10 from the Department of Homeland Security @DHS.gov.
Yeah, they had to go on the defensive.
They wrote, "I can't believe we have to say this, but this account has only ever been run and operated from the United States. Screenshots are easy to forge. Videos are easy to manipulate. Thank you for your attention to this matter."
This is such a critical point about rolling out new tech. DHS was battling these viral claims that their account was being run from Israel.
And what was the source of that?
It was a glitch. A temporary technical bug in X's new feature that wrongly tied the account to some old legacy IP address from 2008 in Tel Aviv.
So the platform fixed it.
They fixed it, yeah. The location was corrected to Washington, D.C., but the damage was already done. The misinformation had gone viral.
So the very tool designed to create clarity accidentally fueled a massive wave of confusion.
It's the knife's edge we're on.
Yeah.
The tech that promises transparency can cause chaos if it fails, even for a moment.
Okay, let's move into our final segment. A mix of finance, societal trends, and culture.
Let's do it.
Post 3 from Michael @Sailor. It's very direct. I won't act down.
Yeah, that's Michael Saylor of MicroStrategy. And that Bitcoin symbol in the word back is, well, it's not subtle.
It's a statement.
It's a very clear signal of his commitment to their Bitcoin strategy, especially with all the pressure they're under right now.
What's the specific pressure?
It's coming from MSCI. That's the company that runs major market indexes. They're reviewing MicroStrategy's eligibility because so much of its value is tied up in a volatile asset like Bitcoin.
And if they get reclassified?
If they do, it could trigger something like $9 billion in outflows from passive funds that would be forced to sell.
So that post is him basically staring down a $9 billion risk.
That's exactly what it is. He's telling the market he's not blinking.
Okay, from market risk to a huge societal trend. Post 6 from @TeslaOwnersSV.
This one is pretty sobering.
Italy's demographic crisis deepens. Only 369,944 babies were born in 2024, the lowest since unification in 1861, and the 16th straight year of decline. Fertility rate hit a record low of 1.18 children per woman.
These numbers are a huge economic and cultural alarm bell. A fertility rate of 1.18 is so far below the 2.1 you need just to keep the population stable.
And this isn't just an Italian issue, right?
No, not at all. This is a challenge across much of Europe. And the data really points to clear economic reasons.
Like what?
It's things like impossibly high housing costs and the rise of insecure short-term jobs. It just makes it economically unfeasible for many young people to even think about starting a family.
Shifting gears to culture for a moment, a much later post from @MrBankstips.
Yes.
Post 8 is just the laughing emoji.
Right, and it's referencing a viral video. It's an AI-generated comedy sketch that perfectly captures the frustration of Liverpool football fans.
Ah, after that big loss.
Their shocking 0-3 loss at home. It was, I think, their 6th defeat in 7 league games. So that little video is just, it's pure digital catharsis for a fan base.
Okay, and a quick update on a celebrity incident. Post 11 from @PopCrave.
Right.
The man who grabbed Ariana Grande at the Wicked for Good premiere is now banned from re-entering Singapore.
This is all about enforcement. The guy, Johnson Wen, is apparently a known event disruptor. After that incident, he got 9 days in jail for public nuisance.
And now he's banned for life.
Banned from ever re-entering Singapore. It shows a very, very hard line on maintaining order at these big public events.
All right, our final post today is an intellectual one. It's an endorsement from @BillEckman.
Yeah, post 14.
He says, I just finished The Philosopher in the Valley, Alex Karp, Palantir, and The Rise of the Surveillance State by Michael Steinberger. It was a quick, well-written, and fascinating read.
So Ackman is recommending a biography of Palantir's CEO, Alex Karp. And the timing of this book is really key.
Because Palantir is doing so well.
So well. Their market cap just flew past $500 billion, mostly because of the success of their AI platform, AIP.
So you've got this huge financial success, but the book's title has Rise of the Surveillance State right there in it.
Exactly. And that's the whole point. The company is flying high, but this book forces you, and investors like Ackman, to confront the big philosophical debates that are baked into Palantir's business.
The classic privacy versus security debate.
It's the central tension. It's a huge business success story, sure, but it's one that's completely tangled up with one of the most important conversations of our time.
What an incredible scan of the feed, from designing, robotic brains for space to the messy collapse of a government agency.
And it all comes back to that theme we started with, doesn't it? Velocity.
The speed.
You see private tech, like FSD and Starlink, moving at a global pace, basically setting the agenda. And then you see DOGE, a government agency that was actually saving hundreds of millions of dollars.
And it still gets shut down.
It gets shut down abruptly because it couldn't hit some crazy, ambitious political target.
So that brings us to the final thought for you, the listener, to take away.
Right. As AI and all this private innovation keeps getting faster, are we entering a new era? An era where the speed of private tech now basically sets the rules for public governance? Or is it just that the political will to actually reform things is too fragile to survive the pressure, something to mull over?